Hello and welcome to the pre-match show live of the fifth T20 between South Africa women and India women. And obviously, India finally opened their account in the series after 3 back-to-back losses in the last game in Johannesburg. So now I think the India women will look to end on a high, win another win. But for South Africa again, the way they have played, I think they look very clear in their minds that they want to dominate the Indian side ahead of the keeping an eye on the preparation for the upcoming T20 World Cup. And I think also the same way that they would also love to come back in the winning ways and winning the series eventually with a 4-1 scoreline. But usually fifth game, India is coming after a win. Do you think a better performance from this side in this game, because it is another challenge that okay, finally we have won that game and you want to carry forward that momentum in the last game of the series?
Can the Indian team promise that they'll have a better performance? Then I can go
experimentation will continue. That is
of course. See, you have to continue the experimentation for sure. Also, for today, the match shifts to Benoni. Yes. So it's a new ground, new pitch. And when I say new pitch, the pitch isn't new. I'm saying it's new for the
first time in this
series. The first time in this series. The players are going to play in that series, and we have seen that Indian batters take a little time to adjust. And especially in the South Africa series, they have taken time to adjust to the pace of the of the pitch. So I won't be surprised if there is a bit of a problem in the batting. It's not as fluent as it was.
Yes.
And see, the other part, of course, there is experimentation which we are going to see, because this is your last game, ideally, I would say, before you get that top 18 in that squad. Because you and I have been discussing this from day one, that it's not going to be that you can have a separate squad for the England T20 series, T20I series, and then a completely separate
squad.
Absolutely, the 18 that are going to be there will go to England, and then from that England series, I think 15, 16 will be there for the World Cup. That's how it is going to be. And if you actually look at the Indian team, I don't think that we have got that settled 18 yet. So the experimentation has to continue. What I see is I think Smriti will be back.
Yes.
Might see I would actually like to see Bharti Fulmali continue one more game, because she has played 2 games. One, she hasn't batted. Second, she did bat for 4 balls. She was extremely poor in the field. That being apart, I would want there to be a better sample size for Bharti.
Absolutely.
But the question is, say Bharti Fulmali doesn't play and Anushka stays on. Now what does Anushka do? Do you give Shafali a rest? Because you should ideally not.
Yes.
With the kind of form that Shafali is in and the kind of player that Shafali is, she needs momentum. That is where I feel that you should not give Shafali a rest. And I think it is likely that they will give Shafali a rest, because whenever we try to, logically dissect that this is what should not happen.
In a different direction.
Absolutely.
In the opposite direction.
So your logical mind will say, don't give Shafali a break.
Yes.
So expect Shafali to get a break. And my logical mind from day one has been saying that because Harmanpreet does not look 100% to me, she should
in
rest.
this game, I think she should take a rest, but I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, I don't know. She's trying to achieve something which is not beyond my understanding. The T20 World Cup, I get it. She should 100% play every single match. But before that, why do you want to strain yourself? Especially, last game, I was just wondering, she fell quite a few times. And there's a lot of dew in evening matches. Today, of course, the match is a little earlier. But there was a lot of dew, a lot of players were slipping. You don't want somebody who already has knee issues in the past to play in those conditions if it does not matter. Because even if you lose, and I have been saying this, even if you lose 5-0, you were experimenting.
Yes.
And the completely other factor is you're not going to get South African conditions in in England. English conditions are going to be very, very different. So I would hope that with Smriti coming in, I think Smriti might captain and Harman might rest.
Yes, that is a possibility, because if you really think that Smriti is coming in and Bharti Fulmali is not getting dropped, then the combination looks very.
No, even with Bharti being dropped, you can get in Shriyanka. Don't strain Arundhati.
Shriyanka will come in, I think, in place of Kranti because of the injury. That ankle injury Kranti faced in the last game.
Possible.
Yeah, there is a chance maybe the team management will not take any risks.
Ideally shouldn't.
Yes, ideally shouldn't. And I think there is no need of trying.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't need to try Arundhati Reddy in this game also.
No, that's exactly what I said. You don't need to try Arundhati Reddy at all.
Yeah.
Because I do think that Arundhati Reddy has to play a very, very significant part
Exactly.
if India has to win the T20 World Cup. If it was an ODI, if it was the ODI format, I would have said it's a completely different ball game. But if it's T20I format, I feel somebody like Arundhati is a very, very important factor, much like Deepti is. If both Deepti and Arundhati click, I feel India are going to be absolutely on top and dominating in the World Cup.
Absolutely, I think Arundhati Reddy will be a key player for India in the upcoming T20 World Cup. But regarding Kranti, absolutely, obviously we saw what happened in the last
You have some news regarding
yes,
her
we
injury.
saw what happened last day. Trying to save a boundary. I think she twisted her ankle, and she left the field on a golf cart. So
Yeah.
it didn't look that good.
Yeah.
And obviously, I tried to get in touch with some our sources, and according to the source, very closely to the team, that it is not as severe as it looks, and maybe it will not impact her playing time in World Cup.
Right.
Her decision to be included in the World Cup. So let's see what happens. We'll definitely update you guys whatever updates you will get in near future. But Deepti Sharma finally positive that point for Team India, for fans, that Deepti Sharma all-rounder is back, what you need. And as we both have been saying that in this format particularly, more than the batter, the bowler Deepti Sharma is much needed.
Yeah.
And we saw that, obviously, crucial runs down the order along with Vicha Ghosh.
Yeah.
That partnership helped you to cross that 180 run mark. But the bowling, 5 wicket, middle 5 wicket haul, and only the fourth overall women's cricket to achieve a 5 wicket haul across all formats. So excellent achievement. So now what we have been saying, you have to
No, see,
faith on Deepti Sharma.
let's first of all say that from day one I've been saying give her a rest.
Yes.
The team did not.
Yeah.
It paid off. So good on the team, I think now that it has worked, it was an excellent call not to give her a rest. 5 wickets all, yes.
Not surprising.
Not surprising, neither am I over the top about it, because I thought the pitch last game was something that would suit someone like Deepti Sharma. Even it would have suited someone like Shreyanka Patil as well.
In future, any bowler.
Yes, absolutely, because there was a bit of grip and there was uneven bounce, which always helps the spinners. Taking nothing away from Deepti Sharma, because there's nothing to take away. From day one, even when I was saying that Deepti should be rested, my entire point was Deepti should be rested because she's going to be one of your most important players in the World Cup. And in short, we have seen that happen. I'm not mixing formats here. Again, there are a lot of people who will come to teach me that 2025 was ODIs. Thank you for the lesson, but I do know that was ODIs. But in any team, when you have an utility player like Deepti Sharma, it is very, very important that you realize her form is of utmost significance. And Deepti performing clearly, he boosts the way the whole bowling unit performs, which is in T20Is, even that 30 ball, even those 30 runs are very significant. In T20Is, it's not like you're going to score 80, 90 unless you are a top order batter. It's very rare that you're going to get at number 5, 6, even chances to reach 50. But what was important was last game, Deepti did not give up as far as batting is concerned, which is where I think, and the strokes also were pretty much controlled and thought out. Because generally Deepti has the effect that Jemmy also does a lot. Both of them come and start sweeping. But people have realized that Deepti's area is basically the sweep and the cow corner, which is where the fielders are when she comes up. She rotated the strike. Again, I think it was helpful that both the batters are slow runners. So you're not going to get quick singles. Still, they had a good partnership. Should give Deepti a lot of confidence. But Deepti has to, as a batter, increase her range. It's not impossible for her. I think there's still a lot of time left for someone like her to, go ahead and do it. Yeah, absolutely. there were variations when she bowled. She was executing it well, and she was not looking for wickets, which is why she got the wickets. Which is what Deepti should stick to. And I think one good game ideally should get her another good game, but it will be interesting to see if this pitch does not have that grip, if this pitch does not have that uneven bounce. How does Deepti go about?
Absolutely, and I think after the game, Deepti Sharma mentioned that thing, that my focus was hitting the perfect line and length rather than going for the wicket, and ultimately it was very for her. So, but usually, as you mentioned, Jemimah also is. I think it has been I will not say poor, but not decent.
Why will you not say poor?
Two scores, I think 30s and 40s, but
like
still.
That.
But still, I know why you are saying that. I think the stature that Jemimah Rodriguez carries.
I don't know about her stature, but I know that she has the potential, and I know I have the expectation.
Yes.
So if she
Yes,
scores
that
at
is
30, and that too she comes at number 3.
Yes.
At number 3, if you are scoring 30,
you cannot throw your wicket away. And she is doing that only. Playing those sweep shots and throwing her wickets away. What is going wrong?
Smriti Mandhana is not talking to her in the practices.
Yes, what we saw in that World Cup.
That's how it changed. I think Smriti is not talking to her. Smriti, please talk to her.
Talk to herself, talk to
Talk to
yourself,
yourself and talk to her as well.
It's high time.
It's high time because the mistakes are being repeated. I keep telling you the number of times that we do the women's show. I at times feel, am I saying repetitive things? Is it my problem? Am I not someone who doesn't know how the game is going on, or are they making the making the same mistakes? 200%, Snehashish, I can tell you that Jemmy will come out today, and if it's the spinner, she'll go for a sweep shot.
Definitely.
But I have no idea why does she not have the confidence that most others have on her. Jemmy can hit 180 degree at least. I wouldn't say 360 degree, but more than 180 degree. I would say she has shots behind the wicket, in the V. Why doesn't she play that? And what's surprising for me is her Delhi teammate Laura Bulward, with someone she has obviously had long chats with her. We have seen reels as well, but she was saying good shot to Laura Bulward. So of course they have spent a lot of time. And if you look at how Laura Bulward has played in all the 4 matches, yes, last game it did not work, but I think in the last game also I said it. Now also I'll say the same thing. There was in swing, yes, but the bigger problem was the uneven bounce. The ball kept low. But whatever shot she is playing, she's playing in the maximum amount of runs. The day she scored 115 runs, out of that 49 was in the V. That example is right there. I have no idea why that is not being followed.
Absolutely, I think usage of the straight back shots.
Yeah.
I think it has to be there to get many success
Yeah,
in this format.
absolutely.
Otherwise, you cannot get that consistency that every batter is looking for. But usually overall the pace bowling unit does
Renuka Singh Thakur.
I think the matches that Arundhati played, I think she looked good. She hasn't taken that much of wicket, I guess, but overall economically she was good. But Kashbi not looking that good in this series.
Yeah, Kashbi has looked very flat. Kashbi has looked flat, Renuka has looked clueless. And
Kashbi not using those variations, that's Yorkers and everything.
Kashbi is very in between. Either she uses variations all in one over, or she just doesn't use. So somebody needs to speak to her. I think Avishkar Salvi, we have seen, is a very involved coach who talks a lot with the bowlers.
He always chats with
he always has a chat with them. He's always trying to make them do new drills, practice something. So I think he should ideally have a chat. We should also take the due into account. And with Renuka, I mean, you and I have said this earlier as well, that Renuka is a very conditions bowler, right? If the conditions are in her favor, she is your number 1 bowler.
Yes.
If the conditions are not in her favor, then
Question mark.
exactly, absolutely. And as far as Kashfi is concerned, I think she has looked very flat. I was telling Shobjani as well in our Hindi show that she has not tried the Yorker at all. the variations which, see, you can have a lot of variations, but there will be some variations you will be absolutely confident about. So you have to try those variations, and the Yorker is something that Kashvi executes well. Not seen her try. Could be, Snehashish, that maybe due to the dew she's not able to grip the ball well. But she has played in dew. It's not like WPL has any less dew for that matter, you know.
No chance.
Exactly. It's very weird to see her not being effective. Having said that, all these bowlers are going to be effective in England.
Yes, that is the main thing.
Until unless England prepares flat wickets, which is where our batters are going to be effective.
Yes. So okay, so we just hope that that can happen in the upcoming months. But let's talk about the South African team also. I think, you know, Laura Woolward obviously.
In the first 3 matches, we have only spoken about them.
Yes, but Sunil, I think she has played a key role.
Yeah, she has been brilliant. I think ever since the captaincy has been taken from her, she has been brilliant. And there is a second phase where she was promoted to open the batting, and she has suddenly found her mojo, where she can mix both. You know, in the power play she can go for her shots and then can play her anchor role. And every day there's a pattern that she tries to hit a non-striker off the, you know, be it her captain, and she has no mercy. Be it her captain,
somehow surviving.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow surviving. I think this South African team is looking so good. And think of this: there is a person who's posting how she is
inching closer.
Inching closer, exactly. And it is scary. It is very scary, because South Africa will be that that Dhurandhar dialogue, you know. घायल है इसलिए घायल हूँ इसलिए घातक हूँ.
ये लोग तो बहुत बार घायल है.
ये बहुत बार घायल है. And we have seen what inspired leadership can do. Something what Bavuma has achieved. Sorry. Temba Bavuma has achieved with the South African men's team in the test format is something that Laura Woolward, with the kind of format that she form she is in. Laura Woolward has become the format only, not even the form, you know. The form that she is in can actually lead this team, and you can see that in her body language, the confidence, the catches that she is going for, you know. Suddenly Laura Woolward herself looks like a very different player, and when you get your captain with has so much confidence, is on fire, is focused, seems like you know, there was one of her interviews which I was seeing for South Africa's social media channel, I think, where she was saying, you know what, we need to better the way we score. And you could see that every single South African batter has worked towards it. So it's an aim that begins with a vision that a leader has seen, and then the entire team follows, which I think works so well. And if you have to see the biggest example, Revsportz is the biggest example of that.
Yes. Okay, before wrapping up
Plug
the show.
in our own channel, shamelessly.
Okay, before wrapping up the show, last two questions, Trishati. Highest wicket taker of this series, Tumi Sheko Pune. Did you expect this thing? But how
My question is, did Tumi Sheko Pune expect this? Forget about me expecting it.
But she has.
Oh, she has been brilliant. You know, I see there are two kinds of players that I absolutely adore. Players who know their potential and perform up to that. Players who know their weakness and restrict themselves to that. So Tumi Sekupune is obviously in the second part. She knows that I'm no Marizani Cap, I am no Maswada class,
Yeah.
I am no Ayabonga Khaka.
Yes.
I can only be effective if I bowl stump to stump, and that is all she has done. She has not tried unnecessary variations. She has not gone about.
Has not given unnecessary rooms to the batters.
Exactly. She has just bowled stump to stump. You miss, I hit. You try to hit me. There is a boundary fielder, and I'll get you. So that's exactly what has happened. I think more than Tumi Sekupune thinking about anything, Indian players should think why have they got out to Tumi Sekupune?
Yes, I think they need to think. I think ahead of the series they might be thinking that okay, we can target someone like Tumi Sekupune in the middle.
Could be that could be one of the reasons. And see, that's what I'm saying. that
Wicket
Tumi
to wicket
Sekogune
ball.
was supposed to be their weak link.
Yes.
So even Laura will want Tumi Sekogune. I'm sure they have spoken about this. That you know what, the batters will go after you, bowl wicket to wicket, and good on her that she has executed with so much perfection.
Absolutely. Last match of the series, Tushari, do you see few changes in the South African team as well? Like, bringing in Anneke Bosch another chance? Though
No, I think Anneke Bosch has botched all her chances.
Or do you like to see, give race to someone like Annie Derrickson, played all 4 matches?
No. I think if Derrickson at this age rests, when will she play?
And she also opening the bowling for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, I think if I was Derrickson, I would say please don't make me rest because
I
this
want
is
to
the
play.
last opportunity. Yes, once Marisane Cap comes back, you're not going to give Cap the older ball, right? You will give her the new ball.
Yeah.
So think of this, Marisane Cap and Henry Derrickson, if they can take your new ball, it takes half the. I don't even want to
Yes.
imagine how that
Okay,
pans out.
the World Cup will be there. We
And
will be
then-
there. We will
and
be
the
there.
hungry
You guys
Marizan
will
Cap
be
will be there.
Yes. And then when Marizan Cap is posting picture with a smile, it's scary.
It's scary. As long as she
Definitely
frowns, the world is fine. The moment she smiles, it is a problem.
Yes. Okay. Thank you guys. This is it for now. And obviously we will come back for the postman show.
Yeah.
Till then, take care and enjoy the game. Hopefully India can win and end on a high. Thank you.